Hello, hello, everybody. I am so happy and excited to announce that our book, Dare to Be Me Through Cancer, Getting Crystal Clear on How to Fly, is launched. Like, yay, today is the day. But I have a person that I really admire. I call her sister, and I love her dearly. Her name is Dr. Randi D. Ward, and I'm going to bring her up. She's an educator, author, coach, and editor of this book too. She is a Chancellor, of University of Leadership Management, former owner of two Egyptian language centers, top global impact influencer, female visionary educator of the decade, two honorary doctorates, Humanitarianism, U.S. Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award, a 100 Successful Women Award, Nelson Mandela Humanitarian Award. She Inspires Me Award, Super Hero Award, World Peace Forest Africa Honorary President, and then the African Nomads Conservation U.S. Director. I mean, I can go on and on. The list goes on and on. So, Dr. Randi, I am so excited. I mean, you are one of my favorite people and
It's
superhero
mutual.
that always shows up because you save me and give me energy and inspire me to keep going, because there's times that we just don't have the energy. We don't have, things happen like today, things are happening, but we keep going and we support each other and we tell each other, just keep going, and thank you for that. Thank you so much.
We, I love you just as much. And since we've connected just a few months ago, we've really become close sisters. And you're always going to be a part of my life. And I'm always here to support you because you support me too. So I love you. And this was such a pleasure to be in this book. Can I tell you why I decided to be in this book?
Yes, I'm going to give you the
Okay.
spotlight. So I'm going to go into my
Okay. All right. Thank you. Well, my friend Dr. Angelica shared with me a few months ago that she was going to write this book on cancer and share her cancer survival story, which you'll hear about later, as well as stories of other survivors and people who have sadly lost loved ones to cancer. Well, my beloved husband, Bill, of 48 years, lost his life to lung cancer. So I wanted to be a part of this incredible book. Now, I actually do not have a chapter in the book, and I will explain why later. But I did have to become the editor of this life changing book, and I actually did write the book forward. So I do have some writing in there. Angelica and I worked together on this book for many, many hours, many, many months, and made it. It's so beautiful in every way that we could possibly do this. And by the way, she was so sweet, even though I do not have a chapter in there, to make a memorial page for my beloved Bill. And for that, I'm so ever grateful and thank her so much. And again, thank you, my beloved sister, for allowing me to be part of this, what I consider to be a historic book, because it's going to change so many lives. Okay, well, I do have a diagnosis story which I will share, but it's not in the book, as I said. And you'll see why I didn't write a story. My husband was diagnosed with double pneumonia via chest x-rays on November 14, 2019. He had been repeatedly told before this by doctors that his difficulty in breathing was severe allergies. Well, we stupidly believed them. But I knew in my heart there was so much more going on. So I took him to the ER finally, and immediately he was admitted to the hospital. For the next 23 days, numerous treatments were tried. Daily chest x-rays were done, blood tests, everything possible to figure out how to get rid of this cancer. This pneumonia. Nothing was making him any better. In fact, his breathing was getting worse and requiring higher levels of oxygen. The doctors could not determine if the pneumonia was viral, environmental, or bacterial. Finally, on December 6th, a lung biopsy was done. And on December 9th, the doctors told us the devastating news. He had lung cancer with a 0% chance of survival. Well, of course, I was dedicated. Okay. Even the doctors didn't suspect cancer before this. They were shocked. On December 13th, which was a Friday, he had a near death experience. They called me from the hospital. I don't know if he had a little mini stroke or a little minor heart attack, but something serious happened. And from that point on, he was put on a CPAP machine with the highest level of oxygen being pumped into his body. The doctors came in and said, there is no hope. He has days to live. Well, never did I expect that when I put my husband in the hospital for double pneumonia, that he would never go home with me. But 2 days later, on December the 15th, he was so bad. He was still unconscious, but if he moved his finger, his oxygen levels dropped, and we couldn't stand it anymore. So I had a long conversation with him. He could still understand me, and I gave him two options. I said, you can either allow us to let you go to sleep peacefully and never wake up again, or you can wait a few days and possibly have a stroke, a heart attack, or suffocate to death. These are your options. No good option. So the two of us together, the hardest thing I've ever had to do, decided that he would just be put on morphine. They would slowly reduce the oxygen, and he would go peacefully into heaven, into the afterlife. I couldn't stay. I'd watched my husband die for those 31 days. I couldn't stay. Some friends of mine, the adult kids of friends of mine came and stayed with him, and they told me later that around 11:30 that night he had a peaceful death, and I'm grateful for that. During the last few hours of his life, though, we really didn't even get to talk. I just held his hand before I left and prayed for him. But I'm glad that he had a peaceful death. The only good thing about his death was that it did happen before COVID, okay? Because COVID would have shut me down and not made me be able to go in and be with him, okay? Well, obviously, I had no time to react to his cancer, only 6 days. So that's the reason I could not really write a story, because I couldn't answer all the questions that Dr. Angelica wanted the people to answer, because I had no experience with it. My grief was intense, though, because his death was shocking. And of course, I went through the levels, the various stages of grief. I blame myself for not taking him to specialists when he first started having breathing problems. I was angry with God, but that changed. I read the Bible and that helped me. I was angry with the doctors as well. I was a mess and I knew I needed help. So I joined a church grief group. When COVID shut that down in March of 2020, I hired a grief counselor online. After several sessions, the counselor told me I was doing better than most people. I would be fine. Of course, I didn't feel that way, but she said, you're wasting your money paying for these sessions. But I had promised Bill I would be strong and move on with my life. I had to keep my promise to him. I've always been a strong woman and can always handle bad things that have happened to me, like a near death accident that broke 8 bones in my body and took 8 months of physical therapy. I knew what to do. That was my body. I could control that. But losing Bill was catastrophic to me. Thank God I was able to quickly regain my strength and find a new way to move on with career number 3. After taking 4 coaching online courses and becoming certified in NLP, communication mastery, life harmony, and holistic emotional intelligence. Well, I decided, okay, what kind of coach do I want to be? Well, I'm a language arts English teacher. So I have now become a visionary book writing coach and master editor. And now I'm helping people tell their stories, as you would read in this book, because we all have stories to tell. Okay, why should you buy this book? Why is it so important? After reading all the heartwarming stories of these survivors and those family members who lost their loved ones, this book will inspire you and make you believe that cancer can be cured. It is not always the deadly disease that we all think it is. And that as a cancer survivor, you can move on and resume a normal, happy life. And for those co-authors who sadly lost their loved ones, readers will discover and learn how to accept the deaths of their loved ones, as I had to do, and move on with their lives. So, how do you find this book? It's an ebook right now, but soon it will be in a paperback. I always prefer paperbacks, but I bought my ebook copies and encourage some of my friends to do the same today. It's on Amazon today for $2.99, a great price for the wisdom these co-authors will share with you. I sincerely believe anyone who reads this amazing book will be better prepared to help you get through cancer if that is happening now, or if something and time in the future you are faced with cancer or a loved one or friend is affected by this. So please, for $2.99, read these inspiring stories. You'll get also methods and contact information about people that you can connect with and organizations you connect with if you need help with cancer or know someone that does. And once again, I want to thank you, Dr. Angelica, for publishing this wonderful, wonderful book. People must buy it. It's just so beautiful. And I'm so proud to have been the editor for it. Thank you. You're muted.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you shared your story. I mean, I would have loved for you had to have been writing it, but I know you edited everybody's chapter.
Yes.
And as you know, as we read it over and over again, because we edited it several
Yes.
times. And I know there's always going to be something there, but what matters are the stories and the golden
Yes.
nuggets that they share on how they overcame this situation. So we're encouraging you to go get this book because we're building stepping stones on how to get to the light, or we're showing you how to turn on that match in those dark moments so that you don't give up and you keep going and that you find the light even at the end of the tunnel, because it's difficult, it's hard, it's not easy. And it's not easy for us, the ones that go through cancer, but it's not easy
Right.
for the loved ones that are by our side, because they
Right.
are also fearful of thinking, what are we going to do without them? And not knowing how to react, what to say, what not to say. Do I cry? Do I not cry? And I know that because my kids went through it. So I honor your story and I'm so thankful for everything that you've done. But I do want to do something really quick here. Give me a second, Dr. Randi. I need my glasses for this.
Thank you. That's a beautiful video. I love that.
I
And
know.
yes, we cried when we read the stories, but we also smiled
And we
when we
smiled.
knew how people survived. Yes.
Tamara created the outro, so we want to thank Tamara for
Yes.
that. And she's phenomenal, and she's been helping, and she's been in the background stressing with us. And however, again, I'm going to stress that even if we stress, even if we struggle, even if we see obstacles on the road, what we want to tell everybody out there, it's like, you have to keep going. We might not be here tomorrow or next year or in 2 years, but our stories and our messages and our how to get out of something, what we did. And I think because we have so many amazing stories, what we did will inspire you, and it's going to give you hope to keep going no matter what. So make every moment count, because life is short in so many ways. And live to the fullest and be the best version of you and step into your greatness and just go do it. Like even if you feel fear and doubt and uncertainties, like go do it, because everything you want is already out there. So get this amazing book. It's right now, it's in an ebook format, and then the paperback should be out like super soon. So go get it, and get it for loved ones, because 1.9 million people are diagnosed with some type of cancer every year.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knows somebody that knows somebody, and this book will help them, to give them hope.
It will change lives. Let's just say that it's going to change lives.
It will.
Okay. Anyway, thank you so much.
Hug
and God bless everybody. And hug you, my sister.
Yes. And
I'm so glad you're a survivor. to tell your story and do all the amazing things you're doing in the world now. This
Yeah.
lady is amazing. You need to get to know her, guys. She's amazing.
Thank you. I am
Love
Dr.
you.
B, known as Angelica Benavides, the ultimate legacy builder. So if you want to leave your legacy, build your legacy, mark this world with your presence and your message, then let's talk. See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.